Somewhere back down the road, you cross the line into enough and nobody told you. The data even shows roughly where that line sits, and it is far lower than almost anyone will admit. Picture the wealthy life, and your mind reaches for the wrong image. The private jet, the 100,000 a month, the homes in 5 countries. Then you look at how high net worth households actually spend, and the picture quietly falls apart. Under a million in net worth, the typical household burns about 9,500 a month. Cross into the 1 to 10 million range, and that climbs to roughly 15,000. Push all the way out to 50 million, and it settles around 25. Look at what just happened. The net worth multiplied many times over. The spending barely moved. That gap has a shape, and the shape has a name. Call it the plateau. Life quality climbs steeply while you build. Every step buys a real change to your day. Then the curve bends, flattens, and runs almost level. Past a certain point, more money stops buying a different life and starts buying a bigger number. The reason is almost dull. You buy the house you want, you furnish it, you take the trips, you make the upgrades, and then you run out of things that change the morning. Watch what an extra million does at 2 different points on the curve. From 500,000 to 1.5 million, your life transforms. That is security, options, a different set of choices. From 8 million to 9, you would not feel it. It is a good week in the market, the same house, the same coffee, the same Tuesday. Higher up, you stop counting in dollars at all. 20 million to 21 is a rounding error, a few good days you never even feel. And a surprising share of those big numbers cannot be spent at all. Near the top, the wealth is often locked inside a business, or private equity, or a valuation that only turns real the day someone actually buys it. You can own 30 million in something and still not be able to take it to dinner. So instead of picking a number out of the air, the honest move is to run it backwards. Start from the life and solve for the portfolio. Say you want to spend 15,000 a month, a genuinely comfortable life. That is 180,000 a year. Add a normal tax rate and the gross you need climbs to around 260. But Social Security quietly carries about 70 of that, which leaves the portfolio to produce something near 190,000 a year. At a safe withdrawal rate, that is a portfolio of about $4 million. And notice what is quietly doing the heavy lifting there. Take guaranteed income out of the picture, and the same life needs closer to 5.5 million from the portfolio alone. Income you can count on does more for the math than another million in the account ever will. Run the aggressive version, 25,000 a month, 300,000 a year, and even that ceiling lands near 8 million. So the real line, the most you would ever plausibly need, sits somewhere around 4 to 5 million. Not the 10, 15, 20 the internet keeps selling you. Which raises the obvious question. If the line is that close, why does nobody stop? Here's the first trap, and it is not about money at all. It is about measurement. Net worth is the one part of your life you can put a clean number on. Not your health, not your time, not whether your kids call, just the balance. So it becomes the scoreboard. Every 100,000 is a rep, a personal best, a level cleared. And a scoreboard has no finish line built in. It is the same wiring that counts steps and reps and calories, useful for building something, useless for knowing when to stop. The target moves the instant you reach it. Enough never feels like enough because feeling was never how the number worked. You crossed the line years ago. Your eyes are still fixed forward, hunting a feeling the number was never going to hand you. There is a second catch, though, and this one is fair. 4 million is enough for the life. It is not always enough for the nerves. A portfolio you are drawing down is fragile in a way a growing one is not. A bad stretch in the first few years, markets falling hard while you are pulling money out, can do damage the averages never warn you about. The market drops by half, and the calm you bought with 4 million evaporates overnight. Which is why some people sensibly draw the line nearer 10. Not because they will ever spend it, but because the extra is margin, room to be wrong and still be fine. It is the difference between a plan that survives one bad decade and a plan that only survives a good one. Both numbers are honest. 5 million is enough for the life you will actually live. 10 is enough for the life where everything goes wrong and you are fine anyway. The fear also ignores a basic fact about age. Spending does not climb forever, and it fades. Your most expensive years are your 50s and 60s, while you still have the health to travel and the appetite to spend. After that, for most people, it quietly tapers, and the portfolio ends up carrying less than the spreadsheet ever assumed. And there is one last piece the number hides completely. Having enough and keeping it are two different skills. A pile of assets is not an income. Retirement is not a balance. It is a cash flow system, and a pile nobody has turned into income is just a number that keeps you up at night. The people who feel calm with money are almost never the ones with the most. They are the ones who turn the pile into a paycheck. Money for the taxes, kept in its own lane. Money for the ordinary month. Money for the once a year things that always feel like emergencies and never are. Most people who think they have a spending problem do not. They have an undefined one. The money has no jobs, so every month feels like a leak. One retiree said it plainly. She asked her advisor whether 5 more years of work would finally let her fly private. The answer was no, so she stopped. That is a person who found the line and for once believed it. Which brings the whole thing back to one quiet exercise. Stop asking how big the number could get. Write down the most extravagant life you would ever actually live, not the fantasy, the real ceiling, and solve backwards from that. Almost everyone who does it finds the same thing. The number is smaller than the fear, and closer than the years of striving ever let them believe. The finish line was never a figure on a screen. It was the point where one more dollar stopped changing your day. You probably passed it a while ago. Nobody rings a bell when you do. This isn't financial advice, and the numbers move with the market and the tax code. Run your own before you act on any of it. But the real shift was never the size of the number. It was noticing the line at all. One shift changes everything.